fans, welcome back to KMMA. I'm Andy O,
And I'm Khalil Deal.
and we're about to get into the main card portion of what is it, Vegas 101?
Oh yeah, UFC Fight Night Vegas 101.
Okay, back to the old little cage. All right. So to open, where are we here? To open up the card, we got Paulo Soriano,
Punahele Soriano.
Haley Soriano against Jurich, the Doctor Medic, to open up the card. Uh, Hold on, I'm just getting my thing better here. Then we got the debut of Austin Bashi against Christian Rodriguez. Then it's on Chris Curtis against Roman Kopylov. Then we got the feature fight with Abdul Razak Al-Hassan against Cesar Almeida, followed by the co-main, which is Santiago Ponzinibbio against Carlston Harris. And then we got the ladies fight with, the third ladies fight. Main eventing will be Mackenzie Dern against Amanda Rivas. So, real deal. You want to break it down like a pro for the first fight here?
All right, let's start it off with the first fight of Punahele Soriano against Euros Medic. This one's a very tricky fight because both of these guys are, not the greatest. Punahele Soriano is coming off of a nice win against Miguel Baeza, but this is Miguel Baeza hadn't fought in so long when he fought him, and he managed to get a decision win on him. He did lose to Dustin Stolfus by submission. Also lost to Roman Kopylov and got knocked out. Those are very significant losses there. I mean, he's beating guys like Dalcha Luchambula, loses to Nick Maximov, which wasn't a good look. The guy is a good grappler too. He's got some good wrestling. Euros Magic, what he's got to have to do in this fight, he's got to have to keep this fight standing. He's the better striker by far, the more powerful striker, better boxer. He's got very good kicks as well. But the guy can fend off takedowns. His takedown defense is very good. We saw that against Tim Means. Tim Means in that fight was trying his hardest to take down Euros Medic and was not able to. Euros Medic was able to fend off those takedowns and managed to knock out Tim Means with a nice uppercut in that fight. I like Euros Medic. I think he's a better overall fighter. I think he's stronger. I think he's going to be bigger as well. He's going to have the 2-inch height advantage also. And I just think he's going to be the bigger guy in the cage. And I think he's going to get a knockout victory against Punahele Soriano. Punahele Soriano has been knocked out by two people, and I think that he's live to get knocked out. And I'm going to take Euros Medic by knockout or decision, but the knockout is live for me here in this one. I like Euros Medic, the more overall better fighter.
Yeah, for me, I'm taking Medic also. I think he's better on the feet. He's faster. I think Soriano's kind of plodding. He's more one-dimensional. And people were worried about his grappling before. I don't hear anybody talking about his grappling now. I'm not worried about it now either. And it would be nice to see some good body shots by a Medic and, keep him moving on the feet. And give me knockout or decision. Because Medic is a finisher, man. He wins. His wins are by finish. But Soriano's hard to put away, but at the same time, he's taking a lot of damage. So I think the knockout is live for Medic in this one.
All right, nice. We're in agreement with the first fight here of the main card. Let's get on to the next fight here. We got Austin Bashi against Christian Rodriguez. Who you got here, Andy O?
Okay, here I'm going to stick with Christian Rodriguez in this one. The main thing I was worried about in this one is that Christian Rodriguez, he's fighting at a higher weight here. And it's not at bantamweight anymore. And the worry is that he can't, implement his game at this level, at this higher weight class. But I think he can. I think he does get taken down, which this guy will try to do. And I still think he's going to be able to get up because he's pretty good at defensive wrestling there. And I think he's better on the feet. So I know that Bashi is really good and high regarded, and he's great. He has great mat skills, but I think, it's his first fight, and I think there's a good chance he's going to gas out later in the fight. And I think if C-Rod lasts, doing what C-Rod does, keeping it grimy there, rolling around a lot, keep on getting back up, I think the path to victory is Bashi getting tired here, and I think Rodriguez can hang, even if it's not at bantamweight. So, yeah, give me a Rodriguez here. I don't really know the odds for any of these fights, just besides that crazy women's fight there, that lopsided one. But I'm assuming Bashi is the favorite here, so give me C Rod.
All right, for this one here, man, I have to say that Christian Rodriguez, this guy has been. I'll give him a new nickname instead of C-Rod. I'll call him the debut killer.
Oh, what? That's the one. Why? Yeah, I
Why?
wanted to mention that. I love it when guys like crush hype or stop young up and comers, and I'm gonna love it if he does it to this Bashi here.
Yeah, this guy's the debutant killer, man. He has beaten four fighters making their UFC debut. If he gets this win, it'll be 5 fights that he wins, that he stops the UFC debut and stops the hype. So I gotta say, man, he's definitely been good against these newcomers. But Austin Bashi is a special type of newcomer. This guy here is absolutely amazing on the ground. His grappling and wrestling is top notch. He's one of these guys that's relentless with the takedowns. He sticks to you like glue. I saw the fight against Dorlan Ramos where he got a rear naked choke. He was stuck to him like glue the whole fight. He was taking him down, relentlessly getting on top of him, dragging him down constantly. He's just relentless with it. And I think it's going to be a little bit too much for Christian Rodriguez. We've seen Christian Rodriguez get taken down by Julian Erosa and get dominated by him in that fight where he got.
You see that? Yeah, that's the kind of worry. That's the only worry I have. But I think he'll learn from that fight against Erosa. I think that was a bad performance.
Yeah, a lot of his fights though he wins by decision, and Austin Bashi is a finisher. Okay, out of his 13 wins, he's got 5 submissions, and the last fight was a submission where he won. He also got a knockout, and before that, it was 3 submissions in a row. So this guy's a very good submission artist here, and the fact that Rodriguez lost by submission, that's why it's leaning me towards picking at Austin Bashi. I think his jiu-jitsu is going to be just too much to handle for Rodriguez. I think he's going to get Rodriguez down and be relentless with it, get on top of him. He's also going to be the bigger guy in this one. I think he's going to just be able to dominate Christian Rodriguez on the ground. I do think Christian Rodriguez is a good dog. He might make the dog list when we talk about the Friday betting, but I got to go with Austin Bashi to win by submission here in this one. I think his grappling and his submission skills, jiu-jitsu, are just too good for Rodriguez to handle in this one, man. So, yeah, we're in disagreement with this one. I'm going with Austin Bashi by submission. All right, moving on up. The next fight, we got Chris Curtis against Roman Kopylov. For this one here, man, I got to go Roman Kopylov. Chris Curtis has just been meh lately. He's been very disappointing. The loss to Brendan Allen by split decision there. Brendan Allen was doing a very good job.
People say he could have won that fight, though.
It was close, but Brendan Allen was doing a good job at jabbing and and getting very good strikes on him. Was able to work his takedowns. He did beat Marc-Andre Barriault, but we've seen how shitty Barriault's been looking lately, especially the last fight of Barriault. And then he had that no contest against Nasruddin Imavov, lost to Kevin Gastelum. Joaquin Buckley was the guy that he was able to knock out. And that was an old Joaquin Buckley 2 years ago who doesn't fight the same anymore. As we've noticed lately, Joaquin Buckley's a beast. The thing also that I like is that Kopylov's going to have a 2-inch height advantage on him. I just like Kopylov's striking. I mean, the guy's going to be the better boxer. I find he's going to be a lot quicker on the feet. I think he's going to strike him.
Not a better boxer.
I think he's better at striking, honestly. I think he's got more power than Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis is getting up there in age, man. He's 37 years old. Kopylov's still 32, still younger. And Kopylov's got those kicks, man. And if he does use his grappling, which he has in his back pocket, he could actually take down Chris Curtis and actually do some work on the ground. We've seen him actually do that against Cesar Almeida. Kopylov was able to take down Cesar Almeida in that fight and get the win. So I like Kopylov in this one. I think he wins by knockout or decision. What about you, Andio?
This is the closest fight for me on the card to pick the hardest one. Yeah, the thing I see about Kopylov lately is that he's been beating guys when he can use his ground game a little more, or more specifically, at least get guys down. I don't see him getting Chris Curtis down. He got Almeida down, but Chris Curtis has excellent takedown defense. I think his boxing is better than Kopylov's, but yeah, his overall striking, I would give it to Kopylov. Uh, because of also the kicks. I love Kopylov's kicks. I love his kicks from in close. He can use it as a jab almost sometimes. The thing about Chris Curtis that I don't like is he allows his opponent to hit him more than he should get hit
Yeah,
early on in fights.
yeah.
You know, I don't know if it's a feeling out process or I'm just gonna give my opponent the first round, but it's not really smart, and I don't know why he does it. And or maybe it's range management, but find another way to manage the range rather than getting hits and points deduct, like, losing on points kind of thing, right? Um, uh, Very hard for me to look. I'm going to go with Kopylov because I think those kicks are going to be used very well here. Uh, I don't, despite the fact he's not going to be able to take Chris Curtis down, I don't think it's going to really matter too much in this fight. And I think Chris Curtis is going to start off a little slow. But the thing is, Kopylov sometimes starts off a little slow also. But I don't think he starts off slow in the same way as Curtis does in terms of getting hit as much. So I'm slightly leaning towards Kopylov here uh, by decision, but a very, very tight fight here. I like this fight. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, this should be a good fight, man. I like Kopylov, man, to win by knockout or decision. We saw he knocked out Punahele Soriano just a year and 11 months ago. He knocked out Claudio Ribeiro, another very good fighter. He knocked out Josh Frem, who's really not that good, but still knocked him out.
All those guys are not as good as Curtis, though.
Shows that he has some power, though. That's the point I'm trying to make is he has some
That's
power.
true. That's true.
He could clip Chris Curtis and just land. The fact that Chris Curtis leaves his head wide open to get hit a lot of times, I think that that's not going to be in his favor if Kopylov manages to land some heavy punches there. I think he's going to be able to crack Chris Curtis, and I know he's hard to finish, but I think it's going to be enough to hurt him and win a decision based on damage.
And he is coming off that injury there.
Yeah,
So
that's true. Chris Curtis did come off of an injury. I think it was a leg injury or something.
yeah, it was like an ACL tear or something. Remember, they stopped the fight.
Exactly. So that's also something to look at. All right,
All
so
right.
we're in agreement with this one. That's great. Let's move on up to the next fight here. We got Abdul Razak Al Hassan against Cesar Almeida.
All right, short and sweet. Almeida piecing up the wild, crazy, very wide striking Alisson. Always dangerous early on because of that freakish power, but he's more of what? Like one-dimensional kind of guy, right? He's not really going to take it down if he doesn't have to. He's going to try and like smash your brains out, unalive you at the very beginning of the fight. So, that being said, I think Almeida being a more crisp, cleaner kickboxer, that's where he comes from, right? Kickboxing all his life. I think he's going to piece apart Alisson. Alisson shot is, his shot is to get lucky in the first round, knock him out huge. So think about that in terms of the sprinkles. But yeah, I think Almeida veteranly puts him away here in terms of the way it's going to look. But in terms of age and how long they've been in the UFC, Alisson's older than Almeida here. Like Alisson he's like 40 years old.
Yeah, he's 39 years old,
He's 39. Yeah.
and Almeida's 36, who's not that much younger.
Like I always feel Almeida's ancient, but he's really not that old. And yeah, he's well younger than Alisson. So yeah, give me Almeida, not based on the youth, but based on the smarts and the keeping him away, the kickboxing, and not really a threat of the takedown. Although you always got to be aware of Alisson's power. If he comes in there all cocky and like with his hands down, he's going to get clocked.
Yeah, let's not forget Cesar Almeida is the guy that beat Alex Pereira in kickboxing.
Yeah, yeah, we,
It's a
we
very-
like to mention that one. Yeah.
Yeah, very good kickboxer, very good striker. I just think Cesar Almeida is just better overall as far as like an overall fighter. Like you said, Abdul Razak Al Hassan just has power. He's a knockout or bust type of fighter. Almeida, though, he's got very good striking. He moves around very good in the cage. He looked really really good against Ihor Pretoria. We talked about that.
He did, despite the four eye pokes, he did look pretty good. You remember those four eye pokes?
Yeah, And yeah, that's it. He fights dirty. He'll do whatever it takes to win. I think that in this one here, he's going to be able. What Abdul has to do is he has to get the fight to the ground. He needs to take down Cesar Almeida and get him down. If he doesn't do that, it's going to be a long night for Abdul because Cesar Almeida is going to piece him up on the feet. I think he's just going to outstrike him, kickbox him. He's got good kicks, good strikes. He's going to outpunch him. Abdul Razak is very slow. His punches come in very slowly as well.
Very wide sometimes too.
Very
Very wide.
wide as well. Yeah, he does a lot of looping punches, a lot of very wide. He tries for uppercuts and big looping punches. And if Almeida avoids those crazy strikes, he'll be able to win this fight. But don't forget, Abdul Razak has that power, man. All of his 12 wins come by knockout. So definitely, if we're looking at betting Abdul Razak by knockout, I'm definitely going to look at that prop. But Cesar Almeida to win by decision, I think that's the best way to go. I think a decision win. He's been winning by decision most of his fights. He did knock out Dylan Budka, but I think Abdul is going to be a bit more powerful and not get knocked out that easily. So I'll take Cesar Almeida to win by knockout or decision, more so the decision. All right, let's move on up to the next fight. We're in agreement there. We got Santiago Ponzinibbio against Carlson Harris. This one here, man, I got to go with
Oh,
Santiago.
it's me. I'll get to this one here first, so you can get the main.
Go for it.
Yeah. Look, man. These are old guys here. So the way I look at it is a little bit who's more washed up, and I gotta say, they both really don't look that washed up. But Ponzinibbio, one thing I think he'll be faster. He seems to have maintained his speed and his movement. Also, above all else, I think he's more of a dog. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I think he's more of a dog.
You think he's more of a dog? Me too. Okay, Harris though, more unorthodox. Like his shots are gonna come from everywhere, basically. But essentially, he has to get him down. That's what he has to do. And if Ponzinibbio, he's got to have that on his mind, man. Don't get taken on the ground here, especially early on. And I just see Harris gassing out faster than I do Ponzinibbio here. So give me Ponzinibbio by decision.
Yeah, I definitely like Ponzinibbio in this one. Carlson Harris, I can't do it with this guy anymore, man. He's just too weird of a fighter.
Yeah, it's very funny to look at. And oh, one last thing, the experience that Ponzinibbio has when it comes to opposition is just night and day.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've seen Carlson Harris losing to guys like Chaos Williams and also losing to Shavkat Rakhmonov. These are some pretty good fighters that have power. They managed to knock him out. And the wins that he got was against Jeremiah Wells, Jared Gordon, and Impa Kasangane. And, he's very weird when he fights, though. Like a lot of his fights, you'll see that his striking is very unorthodox. It comes out of nowhere. He doesn't really have very much skill or technique. Whereas Ponzinibbio has more skill, more technique. I think he's going to be the better boxer. Definitely, for sure, has more precise punching. And Ponzinibbio, let's not forget, he also has a ground game, this guy. He can also do pretty decent on the ground. He has 6 submissions and 16 knockouts. So he's still pretty powerful, Ponzinibbio. And he can also, do well on the ground. So it's not like Carlson Harris could just take him down and have his way with him on the ground there. Ponzinibbio is very good at scrambling, very good at reversals, and he can get takedowns of his own. The only thing I don't like about Ponzinibbio is that 4-fight losing streak, man. The guy's been losing all kinds. Muslim Salikov, a split decision, where he could have won that one, actually.
I didn't like that one at all. At all.
Got knocked out by Kevin Holland, but Kevin Holland's very good. Michel Pereira also very good, and also Jeff Neal. But all these fights were split decision, other than the knockout from Kevin Holland. The other ones were split decision against high-level guys. I got to say that Muslim Salikov, Jeff Neal, and Michel Pereira are way better than Carlson Harris, and he's fought the better opponents. I think that the UFC is giving him a fighter that he can beat, and he can make a comeback here, Ponzinibbio, and get the win here. So I'm going to take Ponzinibbio to win by decision or knockout. I think that Carlson Harris, he's there to be countered often, so I think that can definitely happen. And yeah, I like Ponzinibbio in this one. Not the most utmost confidence in this one, but I'll take Ponzinibbio to get the win here. All right.
Nice.
Oh yeah, he's coming out of American Top Team too, a way better camp than Carlston Harris. All right, let's move on up to the next fight here. We got Mackenzie Dern. This is the main event here. If you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe. Mackenzie Dern against Amanda Ribas here. I got to go with Amanda Ribas. I think it's going to be the same story as the last time they fought. I don't think that either of these girls have really changed. Mackenzie Dern does have some good subs though. She's good on the ground, but Amanda Ribas as well is good on the ground. She does also have some submissions as well. And Amanda Ribas is just the better striker by far in this one. I think that she's going to land more punches, do some damage to Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie Dern's striking is horrible striking. She has gotten better, but it's still not up to par at all. And I think Amanda Ribas is just another level above Mackenzie Dern in the striking. So I'm going to go with Amanda Ribas to win this one by decision. I think she fends off the takedowns, doesn't get subbed. I think she's going to manage to outstrike Mackenzie Dern. She's much faster on the feet, much better, faster at punches. And I think she comes away with the win just like she did the last time, man. What about you, Andrew?
I like both these girls. I don't think Ribas's boxing is that much better than Dern's. I think her kicks are where her striking is at, that for sure. She moves around better than Dern also. But what do you mean you haven't seen any changes in Dern? She looks, man, bigger and like more powerful and in better shape than she's ever looked before, I think, lately. So this is what I'm going to say in this fight. My feeling is that Ribas is live for getting knocked out in this fight. Because while her striking may be better, and while she may be able to stop Mackenzie Dern's poor wrestling, I think one of those big shots is going to find their mark. And Mackenzie Dern can take shots too. I don't see Ribas knocking out Mackenzie Dern, that's for sure. I think the jury's still at the jury. The jury's not even out on it anymore. Ribas's chin is not the best. I think Mackenzie Dern in this fight's going to want revenge. And I think they're pretty evenly matched on the ground. I think when it comes to pure BJJ skill, Mackenzie Dern is better. So you can't discount a possible sub for Mackenzie Dern. But Rivas is good too, and I'm sure she knows to stay safe. And I'm sure she's going to want to keep it on the feet herself. But yeah, I have a sneaking feeling that Mackenzie Dern finds the knockout in this one. So that's going to be the pick.
I mean, let's not forget that Amanda Ribas fought Vivian Arroyo, who's a very, very powerful puncher and a girl who's got a lot of power and knocks out people, and she didn't get knocked out in that fight. Yeah, she did get knocked out by Macy Barber, but that was more because Macy Barber managed to get on top of her, and it was a ground and pound type of knockout there.
If Dern manages to get on top of her, then we're talking about sub time though. So
forget Jessica Andrade knocked out Mackenzie Dern as well. So she's also been knocked out too. And she lost to Amanda Lemos, and that wasn't a good look at all there. And Lupito Godinez, she did win a decision against Lupita, but Amanda Ribas, I think, is just a little bit better than her. So I'm going to go with Amanda Ribas. I think she does like she did in the past, fend off those takedowns. She's already beaten her before. I think she's going to fend off those takedowns. I think she's going to outstrike her. I think she's going to be able to get takedowns of her own and get on top of Mackenzie Dern.
I'm not even worried about her blocking Dern's takedowns. I think if they end up on the ground, it's going to be like, one of those sloppy on the ground, tripping and bumbling and fumbling around until they get down there. Or Rivas, it will take her down, but then they're both kind of at risk if that happens. So that's going to be fine for my pick.
Rivas just has to avoid getting subbed. We do know that Mackenzie Dern, out of her 14 wins, she does have 7 submissions, so half of her wins are by submission. The other half are by decision. She's got no power in her hands, man. She's never knocked out anybody.
It's gonna happen this time.
So I don't think the knockout will happen. Yeah. I think that if Mackenzie Dern were to win, it would be by submission. But Amanda Ribas also has 4 subs, 4 knockouts, and 5 decision wins. So I think that she's more well-rounded. I think if there's going to be anybody who outstrikes anybody, it's going to be Amanda Ribas, and I think that's what she's going to win, is going to be outpointing Mackenzie Dern with the strikes. And as long as if Mackenzie Dern can't get the takedowns and can't get the submission, then what? I think it's over for her, and then Ribas will win by decision. So that's my pick, Ribas by decision. There you have it, folks. Our early predictions for the main card.
Yeah, so if anyone thinks that a Mackenzie Dern's going to get her first knockout against Rivas, leave it in the comments for the algorithm.
Yeah, man, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. You can see we already changed the logo for KAMMA, making some changes in the new year. More changes are to come. Like and subscribe, folks. There you have it. Stay tuned on Friday for our final predictions, thoughts, and face-offs, and our official bets. Starting off the new year, let's kick it off. Let's get it. KAMMA, baby.